Hi, this is Debbie and welcome to Book and Bujo. Today we are going through my magical readathon, TBR. So I have been participating in G at Book Roast, her magical readathon, for the past couple years when it was the other theme, and then what it is now in this new world that she has created from her own amazingly creative mind and put together this huge world. It's so amazing. You have to at least check out the announcement videos and just the story behind the world. It's amazing. So whether you want to participate or not, it's great. It doesn't matter if you've participated in Ariel Academy before or not. You can jump on in at this one and just start from here. You can read one book. You can read all the books. It's up to you and the time that you have to spend on it. I will leave her announcement video linked below if you want to check it out. But first up, I want to talk about Realm of the Readathon, or Realmathon, and that is with Covers with Cassidy. And this is, I believe, the second year she has done the Realmathon. And I participated last year, and it was a lot of fun. So I have all of my books, my book spread, and we have the prompts here as well. And it's really fun. So she created a whole new world for this one. So we had a storyline and a world for last year, and now we have a new one for this year, which is pretty cool. So I'll leave her announcement video down below so you can check it out as well, because it's really fun. But with this one, we have basically like attacking prompts, which decrease the points for another realm, or we have increasing prompts, which basically protects points to protect your realm, which is kind of fun. So we're trying to take down the other three realms because only one can survive, and we want it to be us. Here we go. Have my handy dandy cheat sheet because I haven't put it in my reading journal yet. So the world that the realm that I decided to be a part of is Enya, and that is with Becca and the Books and Kaylee's Books, and I will leave their channels linked below as well so you can check them out. And my character is Ronan, who I created last year for Realm of the Readathon. The genre for Enya is fantasy, and I really debated back and forth between two of the different realms. One was based on sci-fi and nonfiction, and the other was based on fantasy. And I had already picked my books for the Magical Readathon, so I kind of went through there and to see which books fit the most genre, and I had more fantasy books in there than I did the sci-fi and nonfiction, although I did have quite a few of those. So I went with Enya and the fantasy realm. Enya is an island realm, so there's a lot of islands, so that means there's a lot of water, there's a lot of sea creatures like kelpies and krakens and things like that, which is really fun because kelpies are awesome. So in this realm, you can bond with a dragon, which is really cool, and there's 7 types of dragons that you can bond with. So there's ice, fire, poison, water, rock, electric, and grass. It's very exciting. I'm not sure which dragon I want to bond with yet. I'm debating back and forth between maybe fire or grass, but then again maybe poison or ice. Not sure yet. I'll have to think about it. Probably end up being grass, but we'll see, because I'm a nature girly. I like nature. But then again, I'm always cold, so kind of ice. But then fire would be nice because that's warming. Poison's interesting. Kind of fun. Have to think about that. I'll let you know when I wrap up which way I decided to go. So you get points for your realm based upon the prompt. So you can get 1 point up to 6 points per prompt for protecting your world or for attacking another realm. You can use 5 prompts per book, which is awesome. And you can use each of the prompts multiple times. So you can only use it once per book, but if you read 5 books, you can use the same prompt for all 5 books. You can only use attacking prompts per book or all protecting prompts. You can't use an attack and a prompt for the same book at the same time. You have to check out the map. It is stunning. Very well done. You also want to check out her announcement video to get more of the story and the descriptions of the realms. It's great. There are 2 hosts for each of the realms, so you want to check out her announcement video so you can see who all the other hosts are. And you can choose whichever realm you join. You can base it on the story of the realm, the genre, the hosts, or a combination thereof. I will be using my TBR Opoly books as well as my Magical Readathon books for the Realmathon. Some of the prompts double some of the magical readathon prompts, which will make it really easy. And it's easier to almost read a book and then figure out which prompts to go with it, only because you can use so many prompts per book. So last year I did a mix of protecting and attacking prompts, so I will most likely do the same thing this year. You get extra points for reading a book from your genre of your world, and you get also extra points if you read a favorite book from any of the hosts of the Realmathon. For the magical readathon, we are traveling back to Aldea and going to the Ariel Academy for the spring equinox semester. So I do have 2 characters, and both of my characters are double majors because I am super extra and like to make things hard on myself. So we'll see how I do. For my 2 characters, there's 4 different careers, and there's also going to be quests involved, and that's going to be exciting as well. It sounds like it's more going to be kind of a scavenger hunt style quest this time. I could be wrong, but that would be really fun. Alright, so my 2 characters. Let me tell you a little bit about them. First, we have Ariel Colibri. She is in the Order of the Crescent and is an apprentice. She is a wildling from Etheria. She is an air earthling and was born at the eclipse. Her conduit is a bow and a sword, and for her guild legacy, she has a familiar that is a hummingbird. So Ariel is an air earthling that has wings and can manipulate air currents. She loves to fly through the forests of the Etheria, visiting the ruins and learning from the past spirits there. Ariel values knowledge, resilience, and having an adventurous spirit. Full of optimism, agility, and a thirst for knowledge, she is hoping to achieve Master of Elements and being a Feywild cartographer. Now, my second character is Karasu Rekishaya. He is a part of the Archivist group and is an apprentice as well. So his guild legacy is Villainous, which is the god of death and rebirth. So Karasu is an Eterian from Dark Meadow, and he aims to be a scribe and a godseer. He values knowledge and learning above all else. Respectful of all creatures, and has the ability to shapeshift into a raven, as well as blood magic, being born on the blood moon. He is vegetarian and respects all life. So G creates, between her and her fiance, they create the most beautiful graphics and artwork. So we have the syllabus, which has all of the prompts. So you have the different classes are alchemy and animal studies, art of illusion, astronomy, conjuration, demonology, elemental studies, spells and incantations, artificery, inscription, lore, psionics and divination, restoration, and shapeshifting. And between my 2 characters and their career path, there's only 2 classes I do not have to take. I don't have to take the art of illusion, and I don't have to take artificery. For Ariel, she is a bit of an overachiever and wants to become a Feywild cartographer as well as a Master of Elements. So on here, it shows the spring equinox, what classes we need to take, and then the autumn equinox, what classes we need to take. So right now, we're just concerned with the spring equinox. Feywild cartographer basically is creating maps of the world. Master of Elements can be builders, farmers, explorers, soldiers, diplomats, and more. So I feel like the 2 different career paths somewhat coincide with each other, which will be really nice. The different prompts that I have to fulfill, or the different classes that I have to take. For elemental studies, the prompt is botanical controls, flowers on the cover. For Master of Elements, Ariel will be reading The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. And for Feywild Cartographer, she will be reading Quiet Thunder by J.P. Harker. For Shapeshifting, the prompt is Form Wolf. So wolf on cover, title, or author's name. So for Master of Elements, it'll be Wolf Spirit, wolf in the title. Wolf Spirit also has a wolf on the cover, so double whammy on that one, which is nice. And Divergence, which is by E.B. Wolf, so the author's name is Wolf. And then we have Animal Studies. So these are the ones, I'm going to do the ones where they overlap first, and then the individual ones. Animal Studies, heads and tails. So you flip a coin. Heads, you get nonfiction. Tails, you get fiction. So for Master of Elements, I got tails, or Ariel got tails. And we'll be reading Where the Wild Things Are, which was a beloved children's book when I was little, so I hope I still like it. And then for Feywild Cartographer, she got Heads, and she'll be reading Feeling is the Secret, 1944, which is a nonfiction. For Astronomy, the Eclipse Effect, 2-letter E's in the title, and so you can have, it has to be 2 or more letter E's, so it doesn't have to be exactly 2. I happened to find 2 books that actually just had 2 E's in it, which was kind of fun. For Master of Elements, it's The Red Scrolls of Magic, and for Feywild Cartographer, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. All right, now we have individual ones. So we'll go with Feywild Cartographer first for the last 3 prompts for her, and that is Alchemy, Principles of Transmutation, Metal in the Name, so gold, silver, aluminum, tin, iron, that kind of thing. And she will be reading Camp Silver Oaks, and that one is a mystery thriller. Next is Inscription, which is Glyph Flight, book from your top highest shelf, and she will be reading Guards by Terry Pratchett, and that one is the top shelf of my TBR. Next is Demonology, Type Impersonators, book compared to your favorite. And so this one, my first choice, or Ariel's first choice, is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, but that I have it on hold at my library, and they actually just purchased it and haven't gotten it in yet. So if I don't get that in a timely manner where I could actually finish it, I will use Words of Radiance instead, because they both are compared to some of my favorite books, both by Brandon Sanderson as well. Back to Master of Elements. So there's 2 other classes that she has to take for that, and that is Conjuration, Spirit Binding Spells, recommended by a friend, and for that it's A Master of Jinn, which is recommended by the Wild Sasha, and that is part of the Howling Pack book club for April. And then Restoration is the last one, and it's Oculi Cures, Close Your Eyes, Shuffle, and Point, and I ended up with Witches, which is I think it's book 6 or 7. I think it's book 6 in the Runes series by Edna Walters. I'm excited to get back into that series and get that one finished up because I'm almost done. I've got 3 books left after this one, I believe. Now we have Karasu. So Karasu would like to be a scribe as well as a godseer. What godseers are capable of depends on the god they follow. So Karasu follows Villanis, and they will receive minor boons related to their deity, but their true power comes from attaining a shard of deity. Only the most dedicated gain extended access to such abilities, and rarely are they blessed with more than one at a time. Some of these abilities are immortality, surviving unsurvivable, or living past the years assigned to them. Of course, Karasu is very dedicated and hardworking, so he will most likely do everything he can to get at least one of those abilities. So scribes basically record and control magic, and their work has allowed Aldea to flourish. I will probably just go through all of the Godseer prompts and then all of the scribe prompts this time, because there's only 3 that overlap. For Godseer, we start with Inscription, and that is Glyph Flight, a book from your top or highest shelf. And for that, it is The Bennett Women, and that one is at the top shelf of my Amazon Borrows, which has been on there for a while, and I need to read that. And then for Restoration, Oculi Cures, again, Close Your Eyes, Shuffle, and Point, and I ended up pointing to The Exile by Ryan Cahill. I'm very excited to get to that novella, so I can get to War and Ruin, which just came out this year. So excited. Next we have Lore, The Legend of Dia, a book with a map. And it was hard to find a book with a map because I don't have very many physical books, and all the ones that have a map I've already read. So trying to find a book with a map on my Kindle, because they don't always show up, or with audiobooks it's harder to find those, but I did find one, and it's Dragon Mage by M.L. Spencer. For Astronomy, we have The Eclipse Effect, so 2-letter E's in the title, and for that I will be reading Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood. And then we have Psionics and Divination, which is Cloud Study 101, Clouds on the cover or in the title. And for that, it's Of Dawn and Embers, and there are clouds on the cover. And Of Dawn and Embers is by Kyoko M. And I'm very excited to get to this 3rd book in the series. And then we have Conjuration, Spirit Binding Spells, recommended by a friend, and for this I'll be reading Pyramids, which was recommended by Literary Diversions for the Around the Disc in 800 Readathon. And then Demonology, Type Impersonators, book compared to your favorite. And this one I'll be reading Midnight Tides, the 5th book in the Malazan Book of the Fallen series by Stephen Erickson. Next up we have Scribe, which we start with Elemental Studies, and that is Botanical Controls, Flowers on the Cover, and for that I'll be reading I Can Do It by Louisa Hay, which is a nonfiction. Next is Inscription, and that is Glyph Flight again, book from your top or highest shelf, and for that I will be reading A Psalm of Life, which is one of the first books I was recommended to on YouTube when I was first started watching BookTube, so it'll be interesting to see what that one is about. And I believe it's pretty short too, just a nice little poem. Next we have Spells and Incantations. So the spell is Magic Missiles. Target length 389 to 415 pages. Now this was so much harder than I thought it would be. Most of my books are over 500 pages or under 350 pages. So finding something that was right in that middle ground was really hard. Out of all the books I found and added to my TBR, only 2 of them were in that range, but one of them I had already used for a different prompt. So I did finally find one, and that is The Hidden Oracle, which is the first book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. Next we have Restoration, and that is Oculi Cures, Close Your Eyes, Shuffle, and Point. And for that I chose The Case of Lady Sannox by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And the last book on my TBR, so the last book for Karasu's class, our career path, is Lore, The Legend of Dia, book with a map, and for that I will be reading The Dragon Reborn, which is the 3rd book in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. So overall, I have 25 books to read, which shouldn't be too bad because some of the books are like 34 pages or they're like half an hour for an audiobook. So I should be able to bust through at least 5 of those in a really short time span, so basically in a day. But then I also have some that are between 800 and 1,000 pages. So we'll see how that goes. Luckily, I am part of Order of the Crescent for Ariel, and so Ariel gets to start reading 3 days early, so she gets to start her books on March 29th, and we will be reading, for that one, I'll be reading Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood and Words of Radiance. I will be starting that one because I need to read that one for the Brandon Sanderson Cosmere read-along with Elliot Brooks. So I will be starting those. So hopefully I will get Trust of the Emerald Sea in. If not, I will just count Word of Radiance for that. Words of Radiance. Words. So again, I will make sure I leave G at Book Roast's announcement video for her Magical Readathon, as well as covers with Cassidy's announcement video for Realm of the Readalong, so Realmathon, which is what they're calling it. I will leave those linked below if you want to check those out. And again, I just thank you so much for joining me here today. Are you participating in any of these readathons? And if so, what is your career path and which realm are you a part of? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to find out. Also, have you read any of the books that are on my TBR? And if so, which ones do you think I should prioritize first? And what did you think about them? So please like, comment, and subscribe if you wanna, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me, and I will catch you next time. Bye.